celebrating Black History Month.
Black History Month is important as we celebrate the contributions and achievements of African Americans.
Black History Month is a platform for education.
Inside This Is My Story with Lee Michael.
Well, we are so honored and humbled to have joining us today. This young lady is a dynamo, and those in the industry, we know about her. For those of you who may not, you need to know about her because she has been a trendsetter. She has been one who has trailed her own path, and we're so happy to have her with us today. Melanie Few. She actually produces the Super Bowl Soulful celebration. It's coming up. Melanie, how are you today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm blessed because I'm talking to you. So look, I know you've got a lot going on this week, coming down the wire to the annual Super Bowl Soulful celebration. And I've heard some exciting things about it. But I want to, before I even get into that, inquisitive minds like me, nosy people, want to know how in the world did you, as an African-American female, how did you manage to get that license?
Oh, I'm aging myself, like 90, 89, 90. I was right out of college, and these were my before Christ days. I was partying all week, and by Sunday, I was looking for a gospel music church and everything.
Lord, I need you.
So I need you, Lord. I've been partying all week long, and so I wrote the NFL for 7 years and had 7 years of rejection letters. And finally, on the 8th year, they agreed to sanction me. I didn't even know what a sanction was. I was hoping it was. I didn't know what it was, and they said, we'll give this lady a chance and see if she does this event and see if she does it right. And that was in 1999. The first year I had Gladys Knight and Fred Hammond and others, and it was simply amazing.
No, wait a minute. Wait, Melanie, you're fresh out of school. Okay, you're still trying to work that whole sanctification piece out as a young person, and but you had career aspirations to try to present to the NFL a proposition to have this. How did you? I mean, how did you get that? I mean, what made you even think that you could do that?
Listen, I was always that little girl when my parents told me no.
Okay.
I never really realized that no really did mean no. I used to have to get a spanking to understand that no did mean no.
So did you just wake up one day and say, you know what? The NFL has this big game, the Super Bowl, but they don't have a gospel component. I'm going to find out who I can talk to about entertaining an idea. Is that how it came about?
That's exactly. I woke up one day and I said, they should do it. I started researching who to find out, who to call, who to write. At the time, Roger Goodell wasn't there.
Okay.
It was Paul Tagliabue.
Yes.
And I wrote him, and I wrote different people in his office, and I finally, at some point, ended up with some folks that kind of said, "Oh, we'll listen." And I think what helped me, them take me serious, is when I landed Gladys Knight in 1999, because she's been a legend all these years.
Right.
That allowed them to say, okay, this woman is serious and she really wants to do this. And so that was 1999, and here we are 25 years later.
Now somebody is listening, and then you just got their ear because you actually had a dream, and you saw an opportunity. Because you saw that the Super Bowl and all of its glory was missing a component for the faith-based community, and you envisioned, let me see who I need to talk to, and so the first thing I just wanted to emphasize is that sometimes all it takes is the seed of a dream, and then the willingness to know how to take that first step that can bring, because that's what happened for you.
You know, our theme this year was just believe. And that was our thing, because if you just believe, you believe that you can do it, you believe that you can press your way, you believe that you can stay on the journey until you see a resolve, then you can do whatever. I tell people all the time that whether it's Super Bowl, gospel, self-employment, or whatever, I tell people it's joy and pain, it's sunshine and rain.
Yeah.
But if it is your God-given mantle, you can't release it until He releases you of it.
Wow.
And this year was super special to me because I know that it was the biggest we ever had in 25 years. It's our first time being on broadcast television. We're on CBS at 8 p.m. This is our first time. And I'm going to tell you, I need all your listeners to turn on their TVs, go to their grandmother's house, their aunts, their uncles, their friends, and turn on their TVs, because this is not about me. It's the first time a Black agency will have a show surrounding Super Bowl the night on before the game.
Wow.
So this is for us as a race of people. And if we get a high rating, the next young Black girl or the next young Black boy will know they too can have a show. Tied in with Super Bowl.
And it makes a very loud statement to the powers that be that there is an audience that is underserved that needs to be reconsidered in their approach of the whole Super Bowl experience.
Exactly. And so, this is our first time on broadcast television. And when I tell you this show is so amazing, I mean, the honorees, we honored C.J. Stroud, who just walked so boldly in his faith. You know, it's fresh, just in the NFL, but he's a quarterback. And he is doing his thing, and he's praising God the entire journey. We honored Nate Burleson, who is, Gayle King's number 2.
Right.
He's a former football player, and he's now, the co-host on CBS Morning.
Right.
We honored,
as well as on Sunday.
To do something for,
as well as on the Sunday, as well as on the Sunday of football analyst broadcast. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We honored DeMar Hamlin, who we all saw what he went through on the football field.
Yes.
A year ago, and he and his family are just a phenomenal family. His parents have been together since they were 16 years old. Just a dynamic young African-American couple, and they too, as a family, are experiencing new beginnings. His father did 3 years in jail for drug distribution.
Wow.
And so he has turned his life around, and they are an amazing family. And so we honored them as a family. We also honored Marquise Bell, who is the first HBCU graduate to be a starter with the Dallas Cowboys. And so it's a phenomenal time in history. It's a perfect way to kick off Black History Month. I won't even talk about the talent, everybody from Earth, Wind, and Fire to Kirk Franklin to the NFL Players Choir to Mary Mary.
How in the world were you able to secure such a diverse lineup of talent?
Prayer, and we had some great folks on the team. And we had some great people on the team. Robin Thicke is on the show. It was just a phenomenal show.
Yeah. So now it's going to be televised. I guess it'll be streamed also, right?
But we're driving everyone to the broadcast on Saturday night, because that's what matters.
That's going to make the statement.
The rating for Saturday night is what counts and what matters.
So
we're driving everyone to the rating for Saturday night.
So the question then becomes, what is the time up? Do you have the time schedule?
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on this Saturday.
And that's on CBS, right?
On CBS nationally, yes, sir.
Wow, that's a big wow, Melanie. That's a
thank you so much.
Wow. And
thank you so much.
Look. What I hear. No, you started off jokingly talking about the clubbing and all of that, and then making your way to church on Sunday. All of us should be familiar with that. Some won't admit it, but anyhow, the question that came to mind as you were sharing about how you secured that first yes after. First off,
7 years.
First off, 8 is the number of new beginnings. So I thought
yes,
that was
it
ironic.
Is.
I thought that was ironic. But then,
yes.
Here's what hit me. How did the realization of that dream coming to pass impact you at that point in time in your faith walk?
I tell you, it impacted me in so many different ways. But I share with people, my mother's favorite poem, and I would advise your readers, your listeners, to go back and listen to this poem.
Okay.
It's a poem by Frank L. Stanton, and it's probably 200-year-old poem called "Keep a Going." And no matter how hard times get, no matter how much other people don't believe in your dream, keep a going. And I tell you, my mother, there are two things that she said that have been my mentor all these years, on top of all of the beautiful scriptures that I could go on and on about forever. But my mother said, it's nothing wrong with failure, but it is something wrong with not trying.
Wow.
And so I failed at so many things over the years, and I failed at this show, in different areas. But I always get up and I fight and I try, because at the end of the day, failure makes you stronger.
Yes.
But laying down and dying is the only other option, and I refuse to do that.
That's good. And that's a cop-out because, sometimes failure is part of the building blocks for your success.
It's a part of the building process.
Yeah. And you can attest to that. Now, for the folk who know Melanie and know what you've been able to accomplish and achieve, they say, oh yeah, well, we expected that from her. I mean, we just saw that anointing on her. And then for folk who are now, particularly now with this new opportunity and new platform going live on national TV with the Superbowl Soulful celebration, people are going to become more cognizant of your name and your brand. But here's the thing that I want you to take a moment to share. Share your story. One of the things that we do with this program is, we find and we get people to share their stories. And they don't have to be celebrities. All they have to do is have an interesting story. What is your story? What is the story of Melanie going from a young girl in college, trying to figure out what she wanted to do with her life, to finally getting to a place where now she has a sense of purpose, and I guess could arguably say, I found a career in marketplace ministry where you can not only earn a good living and do some good, but also advance the gospel.
I tell you, when I look at, I'm going to tell you, when you talk about sharing your story and you talk about young people, I think about a number of different things. Because like I said, if we get a great rating, even outside of that, I do what I do so the next young black girl who was like me, who has a dream, knows that she can too do it and do way more than I've ever done. But one of the things that I tell you, when I look out over this week, over what you're talking about, when I look out over this weekend, if I only had one success metric, if I could only have one, and it's been so many things that have been a blessing that have happened over the weekend. But if I had one thing, my little cousin called me this morning and she cried. And I said, is everything okay? I thought something was wrong. And she said, Cousin Memel, I'm crying because when I sat there last night and I looked at all the sacrifices, I know because I'm your family, the sacrifices that you've made. She said, but all I could do was cry during the concert because she said, I know that I need to dream bigger. I have to dream bigger.
Yes.
And if I only have one thing that over the weekend it says, Melanie, keep going, it's that my baby cousin says she will walk away from last night dreaming bigger.
That's so powerful. A friend of mine shared this in a conversation and I held on to it. I said, man, sometimes people will just say something and it just has an epiphanic effect. And I said, wait a minute, let me write this down. And he said, you can dream of greatness no matter where you are. So don't wait to become great before you dream a great dream. And I thought that was so powerful because sometimes I think the problem for many of us in living unfulfilled lives is we dare not dream big. Dream big. If you're gonna dream it all, dream big.
Yeah.
So when I grow up, I'm gonna be like Melanie.
It is the only way.
You didn't hear me. I said when I grow up, I'm gonna be like you.
Well, listen, I am still fighting to be a better person, a better woman, a follower of Christ, and just better. I think until the day we die, we have to be better.
Yeah. What would you like for people to think about you when they hear your name? or when they see you? What are the thoughts you would like? Of course, everybody's not going to do that, but what are the thoughts that you would like for people to entertain when they hear your name or see you?
You know what? If I could mention just one thing, it would be great. And I tell you why I say that. I think one of the reasons this show has been blessed is because my mother used to always say, extend grace to others and they will extend grace to you.
Wow.
And I feel like, I know for a fact I've given a lot of young people a chance. I've hired people. I've gotten people internships. And I don't keep those people close to my vest. If they do a good job, I have opened up many doors. And I thank the Lord that He allowed me to do that because doors were opened up for me.
Right.
And so if I could only say one thing, I would say I would want them to say she's a woman of grace because, like I said, the grace that I've extended to others, God has extended it to me.
That's good. Now, for those who are outside of the Super Bowl Soulful celebration, what are some of the other clients that you work with or some of the other activities that you're involved in with your marketing firm?
I've worked with a lot of companies in different capacities. I've worked from everybody from General Mills to Coca-Cola to Revlon, you name it, doing multicultural marketing programs. And so definitely the NFL is definitely not my only client.
Right.
But I have an amazing relationship there. They have been good to me. I feel blessed to have the relationship, and it has opened many doors for me.
Wow, that's great. That is a tremendous story, and also a tremendous reminder of what perseverance, dreaming, and focus can accomplish in the life of someone who dared to believe that they can be great, and you've done that. I want to just celebrate you on the program today. Here it is, Black History Month, and I can't think of a better example of what success can look like for the young African American male or female, particularly female, since you are female. That can be accomplished if you dare to dream and then go after it with all that you've got. One of my friends always talk about massive effort, not just any effort, but a massive effort. You know, I'm going to give it everything I've got and then some. So in parting.
Exactly.
Yep. So before I let you go, in retrospect and everything that has happened in your life, all you've experienced, what words of encouragement could you give to the next Melody or Michael out there who, like you, is starting from scratch and trying to set their sights on a path to fulfill their dreams? What words of encouragement would you give them?
I would say to follow your dreams, to trust God, to know that if it's bad, it's still, it's just bad for the day. It'll be better tomorrow. But just don't ever give up.
Oh, that's awesome. So, again, why don't you give that final plug for Super Bowl Soulful Celebration 2024?
Yeah, final plug is, listen, this is not about me. Please turn on your TVs, every TV you own. Tell your friends to turn on their TVs. Tell your neighbors to turn on their TVs to CBS tomorrow evening. If we win, the culture wins. African Americans win. This is the first time in history a Black entity is doing an event surrounding Super Bowl on CBS. We can't win without your listeners supporting us, our friends and family supporting us. Please help us, but help yourself because, honey, the show is amazing.
That's good. Well, you are amazing, Melanie. And before you go, if folk want to reach out to you on your social media handles, how can they connect with you?
It's at The Real Melanie Few, at The Real Melanie Few, and at Super Bowl Soulful.
Oh, at Super Bowl Soulful. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Melody, thank you so much. Again, we celebrate you. We applaud what you've been able to accomplish and achieve and how you're inspiring others that are coming behind you. And we pray God continues to richly bless all that you endeavor to do and in every way possible provide an opportunity for Him to be glorified. Enjoy, and we look forward to seeing you again somewhere on the top. And like I said, when you come into your kingdom, just remember me, okay?
I will. God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care now.
Thank you.
celebrating Black History Month.
Black History Month is important as we celebrate the contributions and achievements of African Americans.
Black History Month is a platform for education.
Inside This Is My Story